Ladies and gentlemen, imagine waking up in a country where your messages have been scanned, your social media posts are vetted each day, and your political opinions are filtered before you can even get them out to a wider audience. And no, this isn't North Korea that we're talking about here. This is Britain in 2025. Now, there's a lot of interesting things going on at the moment. J.D. Vance, the US deputy president, is he called the deputy president? Someone drop it in the comments. He's actually looking into this now. So he's looking into this. He sent a congressional delegation to both the UK and the EU to investigate what he calls direct threats to Western rights, so freedom of speech. But you know what's a little bit worrying? I've been doing a lot of research today on all of this. And it's not just the UK and the EU. It's actually Australia have got this going as well. There's a number, I made a big list for you here of all of them. There's Singapore, they've enacted one as well, Brazil, India, and they're all very similar. I had to use AI and get AI to actually correlate them all to one another. And what's fascinating was, I was saying, where's all this come from? Now, of course, AI didn't know, but I remembered many, many years ago, we did a video on the WEF, World Economic Forum, and we talked about something around this. So I did a little bit more digging, and the deeper and deeper I went, I started to find these documents which outlined this, how to protect people online. I mean, we're going back years and years here. So it's obvious that even though the WEF have lost pretty much a lot of their power because of Klaus, which we didn't even cover on the channel. It was hardly covered with all of his massages, shall we say, and how they were spending the money of the WEF and treating it like their own piggy bank. There's all sorts of things I didn't even get to cover at the time, but a lot of crazy stuff happened. But let me get back to this a second, because Representative Jim Jordan of the US, he's led the delegation, and they've actually gone to London and Brussels. I've got to tell you, I am amazed at how they treated the US team. Basically said, well, what's it got to do with you? It's none of your business. We're trying to protect children online. And some of the stuff, I got to show you this video I found. Let me just grab it for you here. Where is this video? Here we go. I've got it. I found this video for you of, here it is, ready?
For everybody who's out there thinking of using VPNs, let me just say to you directly, verifying your age keeps a child safe, keeps children safe in our country. So let's just not try and find a way around. Just prove your age, make the internet safer for children, make it a better experience for everyone. That's surely what we should aspire to in this country.
So this guy is a little bit nuts. His name is Peter Kyle, which we'll come back to him. The stuff he's been saying this week is absolutely outrageous. How he's basically, I mean, this is how worrying it is. If you've signed this petition, let me just go back here. If you've signed this petition, 400, oh, it's glitching. Look at that. We've got a glitch on the petition here. Oh, here we go. There we go. 490,000 have signed this petition to repeal the act. And of course, you can guess what they've said. They've basically said, no, we're not even going to look at it, because they've got these emergency powers, which they still haven't given back since the lockdowns. They're not even going to look at it. I mean, it's an absolute disgrace. It is a tyrannical sort of approach that the government is taking with some of this stuff. They're supposed to debate it. That is their job with 100,000 signatures. They've got almost 500,000 signatures. And I'll tell you what's a bit worrying when I read some of the things that this Peter Kyle had said about if you've signed this petition. I mean, a little bit crazy. So they actually met with him. He's the technology secretary, and Ofcom officials who are policing all of this online. So the US delegation sort of outlined their concerns, and they said this is censorship law. They've looked at it, they've had their legal scholars look at it, and they said it's a censorship law, and it threatens free speech and also unfairly targets American tech firms because they're being required to break their own First Amendment. They're being required to censor misinformation and hate speech. But what the government is saying, the US government is saying, it's actually not misinformation and hate speech. And they quote a survey. So they've done this survey, and we'll come to the survey in detail later. But it's something like, it's over 90% of all the things that were taken down so far were not even misinformation or hate speech. It was just things that the government didn't like. So Jordan's accused them of targeting and harassing people already, including Americans. And then he went on to Europe, so he went to Brussels. And in Brussels, he talked about the Digital Services Act and the Digital Marketers Act. And again, he said this is a foreign censorship threat. He said that you are now suppressing European citizens. You're suppressing how they can even vote, because if they post online about, and there's the example of the Romanian candidate, if you remember him, who basically got voted in, and they were like, too bad, we're not letting him become the prime minister. Too bad. It doesn't matter if you all voted for him, we're not allowing it. And they did it under misinformation, all these other laws that they use. So during the Brussels meeting, the Republicans expressed concern, because you got to bear in mind, it wasn't just Republicans, it was Democrats that went as well. That's what was so interesting about it. J.D. Vance sent not just Republicans, but he sent Democrats. So it was quite a mixed team that went there. And I think that was probably quite a smart move. I think he probably sent both, because then he couldn't be accused because the media would have said, oh, look, they sent this right-wing party, these extreme right-wingers to tell us how to do whatever. But they couldn't really say that because they sent both. So Jim Jordan's argument then, he said that they are suppressing conservative views as well, or dissenting views globally, and they're doing it through technology and suppression. So this is where it gets interesting. Are you ready for this? So what they have now threatened on Ofcom and EU staff is visa bans. So they're actually threatening visa bans on any staff who are responsible for breaking freedom of speech, suppressing the citizens. They will not be able to travel. They'll get these visa bans. They won't be able to travel to the US, and I guess maybe they'll extend it to other countries. But I thought this was great, wonderful. Thank you to J.D. Vance and the US officials of at least standing up for us in a way here. And there was a couple of other things around it as well. Yeah, I mean, I was amazed at the Democrats that went on this as well. They worked hand in hand with the Republicans. They all worked together. And there was only one, this is Jamie Raskin, during the London meeting. He decided to have some sort of confrontation with one of the members. But apart from that, pretty crazy stuff. But I've got to tell you, there's a lot more unbelievable things I've got to tell you. I started this at 8 a.m. this morning. It's now 6 p.m. I'm streaming, so I've been 10 hours just doing this, apart from a couple of breaks. So this is wild, some of the things. Okay, so the UK government has rejected any notion of repealing the Online Safety Act, and they've doubled down, and they said that this is right-wing extremists who are trying to stop this, and they don't want to... What was the word in? I think they said these right-wing extremists don't care about children. They don't want to protect children, and that's why they're trying to repeal it. You see, this is the problem with this government. And again, I'm not just saying this government. I don't really care who you vote for. I'm saying this is the problem with a lot of these politicians in general, is that they haven't, because they know they can't argue with logic and rational thought with free-thinking people. So instead, they attack people. And if you think that this is... You don't want to do these things. You don't want to have to scan your face every time you want to view content. And they're already hiding content, by the way. So some of the debates that are going on in Parliament at the moment about the gangs that are going on, this is now behind age restriction. So to even watch that, you have to go through these age restriction things. They are hiding a lot of the reform stuff as well. So again, whether you vote reform, whether you vote Labour, Conservative, whatever, they're hiding a lot of the reform stuff, and they're doing this because they're saying, oh, some of these candidates are trying to spread misinformation, and they're quite far right candidates. Again, it doesn't make any difference. It's freedom of speech, and that is the point here. So they're already using this now to the other one they're blocking is protest footage as well. So this is age gated. So if you want to see these protests, they're actually hiding these protests. The parliamentary speeches are being blocked. Certain news outlets are now being blocked because it's behind this age verification. War reporting, investigative journalism is also being censored now. Anything to do with war footage, protest material, any sort of sensitive journalism, this is all behind age-related restrictions. Platforms, so X and Reddit, have already begun aggressively filtering all of the content, even though there's no legal violations. It's just because they don't want to get these 10% fines, these huge fines. But this is what shocked me. This is one that really shocked me. Okay, we got to tell you this. Oh, by the way, before I forget, because I know I'm going to forget, if you missed Friday's video, you can actually get if you want to make an online, if you want to make money online, basically, I talked about this on Friday's video. I've got this course on sale at the moment. So look below in the description and the pinned comment, and you can read all about it. But it will just help you to make an online income. Highly, highly recommend it. So getting back, this is the thing that really, really shocked me. Okay, are you ready for this? The Ofcom has reached out to YouTube, yes, YouTube, and said that they need to prioritise BBC and UK public service content. Yeah, that was when I saw that, my jaw absolutely dropped. They've said YouTube must give greater prominence to British public service broadcast, PSB content. This includes the BBC, ITV, Channel 4 content in UK viewers' recommended feed, regardless of algorithmic history or personal interest. Failure to comply voluntarily would, what's their word in? It basically says here, the government may legislate to enforce it. That's basically what they're saying. So if YouTube doesn't comply, they're going to use the UK government to legislate it, to enforce it. That is absolutely insane. That is crazy. That is just taking away freedom of speech, freedom of the free market. It is literally like what you'd expect in North Korea or some other country. What else are they restricting then? They're saying that they need to restrict things like stunts. This is what they are protecting children. Also adult sites. So the main thing is adult sites. And this is what that politician said, by the way. That politician said, where is it here? Peter Kyle. Yeah, this was what he said. He said that if you don't support this, where is it? If you don't support it, I can't actually find where I've highlighted it now, but if you don't support this, then it means that you support child predators. Let's use that word. I was going to use the P word, can't on YouTube, but he said if you don't support this, then you support, he basically said if you don't stand with us, you stand with child predators. That is the sort of language these people use now because they can't get this across rationally and logically. So they have to resort to these threats, these threatening languages. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. So what did he say? If you've signed this petition, he said, oh, well, I wouldn't have signed this petition, basically. Not with everything coming down the line. It's like, it's an indirect threat as well. It's saying if you are signing this petition, you better be careful because we're going to have the power to investigate and we're going to have everyone's name, email address, whatever, if you've signed that petition. This is basically tyranny, to threaten people in this way and to use all of this language against them. It's really, really, it's absolutely terrible what they are doing now. Let's keep going with this. So they're saying then the UK OSA, and I did a sort of comparison with the Digital Services Act of the EU, and the UK one is worse. It is way, way worse, because the UK Act is loose in its language. So they say that anything around misinformation can be classed as a crime. So if you, and again, there's nothing that says what is misinformation. It's deemed by them. So they decide what is misinformation. How can that be right? It can't be. It just can't. Removal of legal speech. So they have the power to say what needs to be removed. I've got to tell you about how... Oh, yeah, here it is. So they found in this survey then 99.7% of comments deleted, so this is on social media, under the frameworks were legally permissible. So already 99.7% of what's been deleted has been legally permissible. They've also got this 2004 study in France, Germany and Sweden found that 87.5% of content that was deleted was also legal. It was legal content. It's just the governments decided that they didn't want that out there. There's all these warnings now. The European digital rights, German scholars, all sorts of people are saying, which shocked me. European digital rights have said that this is authoritarian. They've said this is tyrannical, authoritarian, and they said that this should be revoked before it's too late. Elon Musk's platform X is under an investigation at the moment. The fine is expected to be absolutely huge because he didn't censor stuff when he was ordered to do so. I mean, how can you order someone, a private citizen of another country with their tech platform, to do what you say as a... I mean, please drop me a comment. If you're not subscribed as well, please subscribe to the channel. But drop me a comment here. I would really love to know what you think of this, because I am shocked by just how quickly, in the last week, this is going through. I just can't believe how quickly all of this is going. Jess Phillips as well, another MP, Labour, she says repeal calls on the, if you've signed this petition, says that you are helping modern day Jimmy Saviles, who was this massive predator. Let's just say that if you're not from the UK, massive predator. Again, they're using this horrible language to describe people. It's very aggressive. It's a very aggressive form of language to use. There's demonetization for channels, so YouTube channels, if you don't do certain things. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if this video gets demonetized. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Luckily, I have my courses, so I don't need to worry about monetization when I keep getting demonetized. That's why I have the courses. Please check out that course in the description below. What else have we got here? What else have we got very quickly? Yeah, they've got plans for expanding this. They're going to be expanding this now. European Union has rolled it out to more countries. Denmark, France, Spain, Greece, Italy. They're rolling it out further. Australia is rolling it out further as well. They've already banned all children under 16 from social media. Which I don't know, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think if it's good social media that's educational, then I think it's fine. But if it's just trash, then no, then it's probably a good thing in some ways. But I think it's the fact that the parents have lost the freedom to choose for their children is the worrying thing. Canada, they've got a Digital Charter Implementation Act, which funny enough, it actually says from the World Economic Forum. It's still in review. Privacy experts are watching closely, but they are concerned that it's going to be an extreme act. Singapore, Brazil, India, they are all bringing these things in at a massive and extremely fast rate. Ladies and gents, this is worrying. Please drop your comments. I did enjoy reading your comments on the last video I did covering this. I just hope JD Vance and his team will really take some action, use tariffs if they need to, whatever they need to get this sorted out, but it is worrying. Thank you for being a subscriber here. Please check out the Rapid Cash Flow program if you think that would be of interest to you, especially if you're worried about income in your job. I think you'll find it very beneficial. Apart from that, thank you very much for being online. Take care. God bless.